Hello, everyone, and welcome to the College Application Workshop for students who are in grade 12 who are considering applying to college for the 2022-2023 school year. This application workshop has been created to help walk you through the process of the steps needed to apply to college for next fall. Um, just so everyone is aware, we did send out an announcement, I believe it was earlier in November, through potential grads on Edsby, that you could come into guidance and pick up the step-by-step instructions on applying to college, same instructions that I'll be following, the same steps that I'll be following today. And you could also pick up as well your status sheet. The status sheet is a historical record of all of the courses that you've taken in high school and the grades that you've achieved, as well as a breakdown of your credit count, along with the courses that you are currently enrolled in for the entire school year. It's important for you to look through the status sheet to ensure that everything is accurate, because everything that is recorded on that status sheet is what will be shared with the colleges that you're applying to. All right, so before we even get started on the steps that it takes, we'll go through some gentle reminders as well. And I think what we'll do is start with the grad requirements. So this does definitely bear repeating because it's important, especially for this year's graduating class. There have been some tweaks to the requirements here, so it's important you're fully aware. The three requirements are, here they are: 20 hours of community service. In this graduating year, only for our 2022 grads only, you only have to submit 20 hours of community service and submit that to guidance. You can use the community service log sheet that we do have. We have copies of this at Mrs. S, our guidance secretary, at her desk. You could just pop in and grab a login sheet to help you record your hours, or you can also just print it off of our school website under Community Involvement Hours tab. Once you've completed those hours, students will sign, a parent will sign, and then you'll submit them to us. We would like you to do this as soon as possible. We do give grade 12s a deadline of April 1st to submit the hours. We use that deadline because by that point in time, you'll have applied to college, potentially the majority of you, the vast majority of you, and several of you will have also received offers of admission, where you'll be making your final decision on which offer you are going to accept. So we really would like to have that particular requirement just completed and taken care of, so that you don't have there aren't any red flags or little alarm bells that go off on the college side. So, they don't come in asking and questioning you about this particular requirement. So it's a good one to just have completed and submit once done, okay? As soon as you can. The second requirement is 30 credits, right? So students know that it is a breakdown of 18 compulsory credits and 12 elective. At this point in time, most students are probably just aiming to finish up that fourth English, right? That grade 12 English, along with their electives to come up to 30 credits. So this is important, right? There are some of you, that you've earned your spares. You have a couple of spares in your year scheduled to you, and that's great. Those are study periods, but know that every other credit is going to count, right? To get you to 30 credits. So you want to ensure that you're keeping on top of your studies, and in order for you to reach that goal and cross that finish line, you're going to need 30 credits in total to do that. The OSSLT, that is actually in fact waived this year for this year's 2022 grads. Because of COVID, we didn't have the chance, obviously, to sit and test. So this is something that you do not need to worry about, okay, for your graduation requirements. So there we go. Really, it comes down to two requirements only for this graduating class. So I wanted to take some time and just go over an opportunity that we have offered to students through our school board. The Center for Success is a great partnership that we have with Durham College. Sometimes students, especially in grade 12, you may be sitting there thinking, I'm pretty much set. I've got I need 5 credits to graduate. I've got one this quadmester, and I've got maybe, I've got 4 booked for second semester. I'm good. I'm solid. Everything's fine. And you just ride it through to the end. You're going to see it through to the end in a traditional school setting. Sometimes students might feel like, what, absolutely want to get to the finish line, but I may be outgrowing this place. I may not necessarily be feeling like, a traditional school setting is for me. Maybe I want to try and spread my wings a little bit, maybe sooner than one might think, and I want to give this a shot. I would like to maybe see what it feels like to be on a college campus. So this is exactly what the Center for Success is. It's an opportunity for students to spread their wings a bit, to get the experience of a college environment well before the time for a student to officially start college. It's a great opportunity. So it's an alternative to the traditional high school setting. Students have to apply to this program, and if they are accepted, then they'll be attending Durham College for 1 semester. So essentially, if that's you, you're a grade 12 student right now, and I'd like to maybe apply for this program because I want to see what college feels like, you can apply and then be accepted to attend starting in February. So semester 2, you would go to Center for Success. And what do you do there? Well, you will complete all of your high school requirements. So all of those high school credits that you need to get to 30 credits, those will be, you'll be working on those and they'll be taken care of, right? And then you'll have the opportunity to earn a college credit as well. So this is where the beauty really happens. This is what's really great about this program. You have the opportunity to earn this college credit. And if you don't know already, college is not free, right? It is an out-of-pocket experience. You have to pay for college, and you have to pay tuition, pay for your courses, and pay for your books, and pay for other ancillary fees and other types of things. So this is free of charge. It is free to the student. It is at no cost to you. So you can earn that 1 college credit. You take 1 college course, you earn that credit, and it is completely at no cost to you. Students are also provided with a bus pass, and they're provided access to all the facilities at the college. So you essentially are, yes, still, in fact, a high school student, right? But you are learning on a college campus, and you're actually learning a college course and potentially earning that college credit, which does go on a college transcript, which could in fact be transferred to any college diploma program that you choose to take in the future. So this is a great opportunity for students that might just, they know that they've got the college itch. They've got that goal to get to college, right? And they may already feel like, mentally, my mindset, I'm already sort of there. I'm already ready to kind of take that leap forward. So if you are interested, you can definitely come and see me or a guidance counselor, right? Your assigned guidance counselor anytime between now and early December, because there will be an upcoming tour happening in December. So if you are interested in getting on that bus and going out to see Center for Success to see everything that it has to offer you, then I would definitely consider this an opportunity that you don't want to pass up. Okay. Students that do graduate from Center for Success, they do have their own ceremony. They have a graduating ceremony. But please know as well that we've had students that have gone to Center for Success and have come back. They've graduated through CFS, but they've also come back to participate and celebrate in the St. Mary graduation as well. So that's not closed off to students, just so everyone is aware. So I thought it would be really important to bring this up, to shed light on this program. I really feel that there's a lot of students that don't know at all about the alternative environments and alternative settings and things that we have to offer in the board. And this is just one of them. That's kind of, it's a jewel in the sand. It's an amazing program that really should be considered as a possibility for many students. Okay. All right, so applying to college. Well, You will start by researching your program choices, and you'll apply through ontariocolleges.ca. We spoke earlier in September, very early on in September, about pathway planning, and we gave you the resources. Ontariocolleges.ca is your research tool, and it's also your application portal. Okay, so you can research your programs and you will apply. You will choose up to 5 programs, okay? No more than 3 programs at any given college. So if you're interested in Centennial College, you can't pick more than 3 at that college. And the application will actually will send an error, or it will remind you as well. And you'll see in the screenshots, the upcoming screenshots, that is the case. You will accept your offer of admission on ontariocolleges.ca by the deadline assigned. As you'll notice in the following slides that there will be a little icon that will pop up all of the notices and any offers. You know, it will populate a number, and you'll see that, oh, a new offer has come in or a new message has come in, and you'll know where to go to look to see about any updates, right, in your application. But when you do receive an offer, it isn't just a done deal. You have to understand that you have to actually go in and physically accept the offer. It's not just, oh, you've been offered this and you're good to go. You have to, in fact, accept. And there is a deadline to accept, and we'll talk about that. You may apply for OSAP as well. OSAP is the Ontario Student Assistance Program. It's the loan program for students across this province. There are so many students that do take out loans, right, to finance school, and you can start applying just directly on the ontario.ca website. You can start that now. You don't have to wait until you get into a school, until you get offered a particular program. The only thing that will need to happen is once you do get offered a program, then that's when you need to notify OSAP and give them some specific information so that they can connect with the financial aid office at your school of choice. Okay. So some things to remember. There's a lot to remember, but here's more things to remember. The application deadline for equal consideration is February 1st, 2022. If you are applying to a highly competitive program, we would say that you should absolutely not miss this February 1st deadline because highly competitive programs will have their seats filled probably by the end of day on February 1st. Okay, so it's very important that you do not miss the deadline for highly competitive programs. But for the most part, there are so many. There are less highly competitive programs than there are not. There are so many that are not highly competitive that are still open in the spring. There are students every year that consider at the end of April, early May, end of May, early June to apply to college. They didn't think about it back in November, October, November, and they're thinking about it in April, May, June, which is completely fine, okay? Because there's tons that are still open. But keep that deadline in mind. The application fee is $95 and it's non-refundable. Okay, so it's $95 for up to 5 choices, program choices. So it's if you choose 1, you get charged $95. If you choose 5, you get charged $95. And so I would say, you know, make the most of it and pick your 5 because you cannot go past, you can't go beyond 5 choices. But if you're struggling to make that fee, to find the money for that application fee, please come and see us, right? Come, it's confidential. You can come and see us in guidance. We may have some vouchers for students that have financial need, okay, where we can cover the cost of that application fee. Some programs now have also course requirements, and they might have additional items as well that are required. So it really does depend on the program of choice. It's not always just the grades. Sometimes depending on the nature of the program, they're going to ask for different things. If you're going to be attempting to get into any kind of, you know, design program, I would think that they would want design or arts-based program. I think that they would want a portfolio of your student work, right? So you need to understand that it's not just the marks. It's not just, you know, you submitting, you know, having the marks submitted, and it's also, it could mean you have to include a portfolio of student work, and they will be very detailed as to what that is exactly that you need to submit and when you need to submit it. Okay, and we'll continue. We'll cover that later, a bit later on. So right now, I just wanted to show you a screenshot of something I was just searching up here, and we'll touch on a lot of the points I just made. But here, this is a screenshot of ontariocolleges.ca. And here what I was doing was just a basic keyword search. I was searching by programs, and I was searching up animation. I just wanted to see all the different animation type programs, drawing type programs out there in the province. And animation came up, and I noticed that I can see Animation 3D here, and I can see Centennial listed 4 times. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I got to look a little closer, right? Why is animation listed 4 times here? Well, if you take a closer look, you can see that there are different start times for this program. It's the exact same program, but the beauty of colleges is that sometimes their programs, they offer them at different start times throughout the year. So you can start in September, you can start in January, sometimes you can even start in May for certain programs. Okay, so if it is listed there as an option, then it's open to you to apply to decide on when you would like to start. You're not forced to start in September. The majority of students do start in September. Just because they want to it's that transition piece, that seamless transition to post-secondary without waiting, having any lag time. But there are some students that choose a later start date for their program. One, because maybe, they may need to work a little bit to start earning some money for school, right? And sometimes they might need to gain some experience. They may just want to take a bit of a gap to do some volunteer work, right? Or they may want to take a course to upgrade a mark for some reason. Typically, students are taking that little bit of gap time to work, I would say. And other reasons could be that they're applying to a more highly competitive program. And sometimes they choose a later start time because the vast majority of people would typically choose the earlier start time. So sometimes students strategically think, I'll choose a later start time because it might give me a better chance of earning a seat in the program. Okay, so because there may be more seats available, if that makes sense. So that is something you need to consider, but for the vast majority, students will be starting in September. Okay, and you'll see here, I've circled it, it says open, there's a little green dot, and what that means is that it's the program is available. Okay, that is, if there's a little red dot and it's closed, if you look a little further down, you'll see that it's closed, and that's one that you cannot apply to. But if we look a little closer, we'll see that the start time says September 2021. So that's long gone. All right, that's a few months back, and clearly and obviously that's not one that we will want to apply to anyway, right? So if it says open, then it's fair game. You're open to it. Just watch those dates, watch those years as well. Okay, because we've got animation here for January 2022, but we've also got it for January 2023. That's a really long way away for students who may be considering other options to fill in the time. So for the vast majority, September 2022 will be your start date. And if you're interested in this program, then all you need to do is just to the far right of our red circle here, it says website. Now that is a hyperlink. You click on there and it will take you directly to the Animation 3D website for Centennial College. This is what we see. Okay, so we come on here, cute little animation behind there in the background. But what we see here is the Centennial College page. We will be able to read up on the program. We can find the program code, right? Just as easily as we could find it on the list in the previous email, in the previous screenshot. But here you can also learn about admission requirements, like what you'll need to get into the program. But what you see right in the center of the screen, and it looks different for every school, but it's there. Centennial tends to put this big yellow button that says apply now right in the center, right underneath the title heading, the course heading, a program heading. It says apply now. Do not be fooled by that. Okay, you do not click on there and apply directly to Centennial. All right, that is a no. What we are doing is we are applying to our programs through ontariocolleges.ca. That is the Ontario College Application Service, right? And we are applying through them. We're giving them our $95 with our choices, our program choices. Then they will process our application. They will notify, they'll do the work and notify Centennial of your interest in the program. Okay, so do not go onto the actual school's website and apply through the school website. Okay, it's through ontariocolleges.ca. So if I want to know more about the admission requirements, remember, this is a drawing program. This is an arts-based program. I'm assuming that it's more than just grades, and rightfully, and in fact, it absolutely is. So when I go on to admission requirements, I can see academic requirements. It's telling me I need my diploma and I need grade 12 English, college or U level, but I also have additional requirements here. If you notice under additional requirements, it will say English language proficiency. You can click on that, and that would be probably reserved for students who may be new to the country, the students who are newly immigrated to Canada. There will be some parameters around that. It probably won't be the vast majority of you. You won't need to do that. If you do need to do that, then it'll specifically state that when you click onto that hyperlink, it'll give you the criteria. All right. But it says as well that after you apply at ontariocolleges.ca, you will receive a letter with instructions on how to book the mandatory Animation 3D program admission session, where you will submit a portfolio of work consisting of, and then it lists all of these things. My screenshot couldn't even pick it all up. There's more than just the 4 or 5 that you see there. This is your work, student work, 2 drawings of hand, not drawn from photos, 1 portrait drawing, 1 still life, 8.5 by 11 photocopies only, blah, 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 blah. It's telling you exactly what it needs in addition to the academic requirements. This is that additional information, okay? And notice it says that once you've applied through Ontario Colleges, what will happen is you will receive an email from Centennial College. They will give you instructions on how to book your mandatory session, right? You will be told this after you apply through Ontario Colleges. Each program, each college will be sending you an acknowledgement receipt email, letting you know that first of all, thanking you for your interest in their program, but also letting you know that, this is what you've applied to, and these are the gentle reminders. This is what is required of you. And in that email, they will tell you, that there is a mandatory session for this particular program, animation, that you must attend. They'll give you contact information. They'll tell you when in fact you have to do this by, what the deadline is, right? And it is your responsibility to go in, and if they're asking you to book some time, you've got to book the time. It's also your responsibility to meet the deadlines, right? To meet them on the date that you've booked, right? To make it to that scheduled appointment. They will not be sending you gentle reminders. An alarm will not be sounding, right? To tell you, 2 days from now, like, unless you're setting those alarms yourself, okay? But the colleges themselves will not be doing those reminders for you. So this is the point in time where you really need to read everything very carefully, and you need to be very organized, right, about all of the upcoming deadlines and due dates and things that are needed, if they are needed, all right, so that you don't miss out, okay? If you're having trouble reading an email, reading through it thoroughly, and you feel like you're missing something, come on in, you can show us the email, we can read through it together. If we need to ask any clarifying questions, it's always best to go to the source, right? If you're confused about something that the college is asking of you, then you call college admissions, you call the admissions office. That's why they're there. They're there to answer your questions, and it's best to get it direct from the source, because what I'm giving you is general information, right? It's general based info. The colleges themselves, the actual departments, right, that house these programs, they have full knowledge, right, of what's needed. Okay, so that's important for you to not shy away from that, and we can help you with that. We can help to ease that if there is a bit of tension and anxiety around, making those calls and making those connections. Okay. Okay, so more to remember, students must respond to an offer of admission by May 1st. There might be some programs that might give you earlier deadlines, but typically May 1st is the absolute deadline for accepting an offer or responding to an offer, right? I.e. accepting the offer that you've been given. Apply to programs that are highly competitive by February 1st. Now we know that there are some students that have already, it was early November when we started distributing the status sheets, and the step-by-step instructions were posted on potential grads, but we also have hard copies here for students. But we know that some students have applied early and they have already received offers of admission. And this is very true. Colleges this year have decided to start rolling out some early offers issued by as early as November the 1st. That's why we're hearing more and more about these offers that have been handed out to students. Doesn't mean that there isn't a deadline to accept the offer, okay, because there always will be. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a done deal. If it's an early offer, you cannot drop the ball on your grades, on your schooling, right? Colleges are going to want to see your marks several times per year. So we've just submitted the quad 2 finals, but we will be submitting, now we're going to semestered system in semester 2. The midterms are going to be very important for semester 2. Okay, so they want to see these marks. They want to see how you're handling things, how you're doing, and that there hasn't been any slip in the academic average. If a program is highly competitive, it will indicate this on the program details page and or through a filter option online. So I can show you on Ontario colleges, you can filter just using the side toolbar. In this particular case, I was looking at colleges. I was searching colleges. I searched Durham College specifically, and then I went to the side toolbar and I looked for the little, I think it's the last tab that says the last tab says highly competitive, and I clicked yes. So then all of the programs at Durham College that are highly competitive popped up. You can see here there are 36 of them, but look, the nose, there are 435 that are not highly competitive. So as I said earlier, there are way more that are not highly competitive than those that are. So, but this is a great way to filter if you're interested in one particular school. As you can see, dental hygiene pops up 4 times, but remember it's 4 times because there's different start dates. so keep that in mind. But yeah, it'll bring up the list this way. So that's one way to filter the highly competitive programs. Another way you can do it is just through the Ontario Colleges homepage. Under applying, then there's a drop down for highly competitive programs, and it'll generate a list for all of the colleges in Ontario. With Durham College, this is an example of how highly competitive programs are rated, how they are, how schools come to a decision about an offer of admission. With highly competitive programs, they will be using a selection of 4 based on the average of 4 prerequisite senior level subjects. Okay, if you do not have the prerequisite course, if the colleges will know that you'll be taking that course, or you're currently in the process of taking that prerequisite or required course, they will use the grade 11 equivalent as a placeholder and then take it from there. Okay. All right, remember to use a valid email address when you're applying to college. This is very important because correspondence is mainly by email, and you will remember I said that when the college application is processed, that you will receive receipt of acknowledgement um, that the colleges themselves will send you an email saying that we have received your application. Okay, thank you for your interest. Just a reminder, this is what you applied to. These are what the requirements are. Very, very important that your email is active and it's current. It's one that you check on a regular basis. Include a correct mailing address, right? And we also want you to know that you cannot make changes to your first and last name in your application, to your OEN number, your date of birth, or your grades, okay? If something is not correct in the application, because you will be able to see everything once you've got your application completed, please notify us immediately. In terms of your name, in our system, your legal name is what is recorded, and that is what is sent electronically to the colleges. So we need to ensure that you're using your legal name when you're applying to college. Okay, so no changes can be made. If you do in fact do that, it could really create some a real mess for you, because then the systems, they wouldn't match and the information wouldn't match, and you just don't want that. Okay. All right, so various program options. We talked a lot about this in September, just about the different program options at college. And for the majority of students that are applying to college, they'll be applying to a 2-year diploma program. There are some students that consider technology-based programs that might have that might have an internship included, which would be in the third year of their program, and this is a 3-year advanced diploma. Some students might consider a 1-year general arts and science program, a GAS program. We talked at length about these preparatory programs that are offered at college. They have all different types. You know, they're prep programs for 1 year for students who, you know, may not be just ready for college, right? They may need to just hone and enhance their skills in reading, writing, you know, arithmetic, you know, the literacy and numeracy, and they may want to take a pre-college prep program, right, before they head into a college program. Students may want a pre-university or pre-degree program, right? If they're not fully ready to step into a university degree program. Sometimes students aren't fully ready to move into a very competitive program in the health sciences, like nursing, for example, or paramedic. So they'll take, you know, emergency services or paramedic fundamentals, or they might take a pre-health, right, which is a 1-year program. These are wonderful as well, because when students take these programs and then they go on to apply to paramedic or to nursing, the colleges will look at your academic performance in these pre-health programs, and you will receive I believe it's a 15% gradient adjustment to your admission score when you are in fact applying to those competitive programs. So it actually it is advantageous. It does give students a leg up when it comes to being considered for admission to these highly competitive science programs. But these are great. Those prep programs are great. They're great to hone your skills. They're great to develop your skill set and give you the requirements that you need for certain programs that maybe you missed out on in high school. There are 1-year certificate programs. Typically, these are grad certificate programs that happen after you've earned a college diploma or a degree. There are degree programs and collaborative degree programs. The degree programs are like anything you would find at a university, right? And then because of that, they require the same they have the same admissions requirements as any university. So 6th grade 12 U or M level courses are needed. Collaborative degrees are wonderful as well. They still do require 6th grade 12 U and M level courses, but this gives us an opportunity to earn both a diploma and a degree, okay, at the same time. And it's neat because it's blending the theory and the practical, and quite often a lot of students are, you know, three days a week at the college and 2 days at the university, right? So it's really a neat experience. Bridging programs, bridging, a very popular bridge is the nursing bridge. That one there, students are automatically enrolled in the practical nursing program, but then the third year is a bridge that helps bridge the gap of learning to help prepare them for the university study. The transfers are a little bit different in that students, they can do like 2-and-2 programs. So students can go into a college diploma program for 2 years. And then what happens there is depending on their academic performance, right, in the college program, if there is a partnership between the college and the university, for example, Durham and Ontario Tech have tons of articulations and partnerships. Centennial, Ryerson, I think Durham now might have one with McMaster. There are so many different types of transfer articulations. The receiving university would then look at the student's academic performance and then would determine how many transfer credits would be equivalent to the university degree program. So a student could earn 1 semester's worth of credit toward the university degree up to 2 years of transfer credit equivalent, right? Where they can step into the third year of a degree program after they finish their 2 years at college. So that's why they call them 2-and-2, because you could essentially do both in a matter of 4 years, depending on the articulation. So these are really neat to consider. I would say if you're interested in something like that, you could do one of 2 things. You could notify or reach out to the university of interest, right? You reach out to their admissions directly and ask them what articulations and say, this is what I'm hoping to do. Is there an opportunity for me to transfer credit? Or you could use an online resource called ontransfer.ca. So ontransfer.ca is great because you can actually play around on this website. You could start at a college and say, I want to go to this college and study this particular discipline or subject, and then I want to end up at this university studying this. Is there a transfer opportunity available? And quite often, I've heard this said that on transfer.ca is really just scratching the surface of what's available and what opportunities are out there for students. So it's a good start, but know that it's not all there is. All right. Okay, so after you apply, what's next? Well, what does that mean after you apply? What it really means is, you've got to pay $95. You got to pay that in order to process it. And once that happens, then I want you to make sure you go in and you verify your grades. Okay, you ensure that they're accurate, ensure that there's nothing missing. We want you to complete your diploma requirements. That's your high school diploma requirements, right? Submit all additional application items, very important. Confirm your offer by May 1st. All right, also very important because the offers do expire. All right, and if you miss that deadline, you're not going back to them and saying, hey, what if, sorry, I missed. No, right? So you want to make sure you set your clocks. you have to you put that in your calendar. All grades will be sent electronically by our board for current students, and that's important for you to know. You do not need to send transcripts. If you're applying to an Ontario college, you do not need to send transcripts. You may receive a form letter that says, oh, we haven't received, it looks to us like you haven't completed your academic requirements or your diploma requirements, or you're missing an academic requirement, a course requirement for this program, ENG 4C, right? When you're taking ENG 4C in second semester, like obviously you're missing it because you haven't taken it yet. Those are form letters. They go out to everyone. I wish they didn't, but they do, because they create a lot of anxiety for students. But just know that you don't need to be doing any of that. We are sending your grades. We just need you to check your application often just to ensure that everything is accurate. Okay, consider applying for scholarships, right? I mean, we said that college is not cheap. It can run anywhere from, boy, $2,700 a year in tuition to over $13,000 a year in tuition. So this is, and that's just tuition. I mean, if you're living on residence, if you're, you need a food plan, if you need to account for transportation, books, other costs, right? So it can get pretty costly, that's for sure. But consider applying for scholarships. There are so many out there, like scholarships online, like Scholarships Canada, Scholar Tree. These are all resources that are free online resources. All you have to do is set up a profile, and then and tell them what you're hoping to study, and then they will match you up with certain scholarships that are available. The scholarship report, this is an electronic publication. It comes out at least 5 to 6 times a year, and we have a subscription to it, and I post every issue as they come onto potential grads, so you have access to scholarships within a certain time frame. So check that out, right? Because the last issue, I believe, was I think it was like early October to end of November. Here are the best scholarships to consider at this time, right? Because deadlines are pending. They're sort of in and around this time frame, but you'll have hyperlinks on there so you can go and see what the criteria is, and scholarships are self-directed. So that means you just go ahead, you can apply to as many as you want. It's unlimited. All right. Applying for OSAP. Again, this is the Student Assistance Program. We talked a bit about it, but it comes in various forms. For mainly loans. The government used to have more grant money available to students, grants but it's mainly loans. There are some scholarships as well. There may be work study programs as well offered to students. You can start this application as soon as possible. Okay, and application is open at this time. They have an online estimator as well to help you get an idea of what you qualify for. But again, this is something you wouldn't have to pay back after you finished schooling. Okay, how to apply to an Ontario college. OntarioColleges.ca has quick how-to videos of the online application. You can check it out just by clicking under applying on the homepage of Ontario Colleges. You can select how to apply, Canadian applicant, and it'll walk you through the process. So in theory, we are ready to apply, right? Right now, if you are someone who has, written down all of your program choices, you've done your research, and in fact, early in September, I posted sort of a planner. It's a front and back side the page, which is one page planner that you could print off, and you could use that to record your program choices and the program codes. So you have it all in one area. So when you're ready to apply, you can just plug in those program codes and away you go. So you can use your computer or your phone to do this. Okay, so you can go on to OntarioColleges.ca, you click apply. You set up your profile by clicking Canadian citizen, and you're going to click apply now. Remember to use your legal first name and last name. And we want to ensure that it's the same in our school's computer system. And we want you to accept the privacy policy, the privacy statement. You'll indicate that you agree to receive email messages. That's very important. And you'll fill in the personal info and the education. Now, you can fill this in one sitting if you like, or you can take some time with it. You can do this over several days, or you can do it once and then log off and go back in a couple days later and revise what you need to revise. Like you can make changes and updates if you need to at any time. And you don't need to sit down in for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours and do this from start to finish. This is something that from the get-go, you're starting by setting up a profile, you're setting up a username and a password, and that username and password can be used to log in, log out, log in, log out. Like you can do this multiple times over and over and over, okay? Even after you process your application, like you pay and process, if you've made let's say an error in your decision-making, you thought, oh, I picked this one program that I'm not super crazy about, I want to change it to something else, you can go in and do that, right? As long as you're aware of that February 1st deadline, right? And if it is a highly competitive program, right, you just want to be fully aware of the time, okay? But you can absolutely do that. Okay. You are going to enter your program codes as found through your research, right? You can use ontariocolleges.ca, or you can actually use the application portal site and do a keyword search. And also I'll show you how that's done. And of course, begs repeating, I guess, remember to pay your fee in order to process your application. Okay, so this is what it looks like, right? OntarioColleges.ca. I'm on the home page. I'm going to click apply, and then I'm going to go to the left and click apply now under Canadian applicants. If I already have generated a username and a password, then I've already gone in once and signed out, I'm never going to go back to apply, right? I'm going to go and use the little login. I'm going to click login for every other time thereafter. Okay, accepting the privacy policy, that's important, right? You accept that. That's what it looks like. It's going to ask you if you will receive emails, and this is what the page looks like. You click, you put the little check mark, I agree to receive, and you hit submit. Now, this is for sponsorship or agency involvement. If you are a student who does have, Children's Aid Society or an agency involved with your schooling and with your well-being and your caregiving, then you may have sponsorship involved. But for the most part, the majority of students, they will be saying no sponsorship here. You will be answering no, and you'll be saying no sponsorship. You'll save and you'll continue. And then here we go. You're going to start to set up your profile. Okay, you can use the sidebar. As you can see, the sidebar only holds 4 icons. It's a very, very simple system, very easy to navigate. Set up your profile, write your personal information, your education. Notice that you can update this information at any point in time. If you're finding that there's a question that you're unsure of, and you're unsure of the answer to, then log out. You can save what you've done and log out of the application. Come and see us, right? You can come, you can bring your computer with you if you have one, or your phone, log into the application in front of us, and then we can look through it together if you'd like. That's totally, absolutely fine. All right, so just know that you can do that at any time. All right. If you have a question, if you're really unsure about an answer to something. All right, and then notice that the second icon is a profile. That's what you're going to set up, personal education, and then there's going to be the apply icon. Apply is when you're ready to input your program choices. It will ask you, once you click apply, it'll ask you about the start date. So you have to remember, this is an old slide, I'm sorry about that, but it's asking you, when would you like to go to college, right? You're going to be picking after July 31st, 2022. All right, just sometimes it just means stopping. Just stop and look and see what's in front of you there, and really just think about it for a minute, because when you have a couple of dates in front of you, it can get a little bit confusing. Okay. All right. Then it's going to ask you to choose your program. So you'll see up at the top, you'll see the steps here, choose programs, right? That's where we are. It's highlighted blue, and it is now, or has already generated an application number for you, and it's reminding you about the program search. You can select a maximum of 5 program choices, but only 3 can be from a single college. Okay, so this is where I said, if you haven't searched for your programs yet, and you don't know the program codes, you can search the program by keyword here. Okay, and if you know which school you're interested in, you can filter by dropping down for that particular school, or you could say all colleges and that program. If I typed in animation and I said all colleges, then I'm sure I'd find animation 3D at Centennial. It would come on. It would come up on the next screen. Okay, so this is a way of finding the program using the program code. Okay, so sorry, no, what I'm saying here is this is a program choice using the program code. If we want to use the code, we need to know where to find the code. So if you are searching here, in this particular case, I was searching under programs on Ontario colleges. I was searching keyword animal care. Notice that what you see first is the the name of the program, and then in brackets, you'll see the program code. So that code, ACAR, I would probably want to write that down somewhere if I'm really interested in animal care at Durham, right? This is the one I want. I'm looking at the start date, September. I'm sorry, again, it's the wrong start date. It would say September 2022. So I would pick the right one and I'd say, okay, this is what I want. And I want to use this program code. I want to input that into my application so that it pops up right away. Okay, so that's what you could do then. Under apply in your application, you could search program by code. I would type in ACAR and I could drop down and filter by college. I could say Durham only, but notice that all of the program search results pop up and I see Durham's, that's the first one there. I just want to make sure I'm checking the details. I'm ensuring that the start date is correct, and then I will add it. I will click the little add button and I will add it to my program selections. Okay, so program choices you'll always see on the left side. Once I've added a program, you'll see program choices at a glance. Notice that there's a little garbage can here. So if I did make a mistake, I can always just delete it and then start again. Okay. Sometimes program search results will bring up a little a program with a little I for more information. Notice that this one here, I've brought up, well, this is what I was searching, collaborative degrees, right? For maybe students who have the 6th grade 12 UNM level courses, right? And they'd like to consider a collaborative degree program. I notice here that, okay, there's a collaborative degree, music arts, music industry arts, it's a collaborative program. I can't see a little add button, but if I click the more information, it will tell me now that it is a collaborative degree. Absolutely, yes, it is. It's a college diploma program. I think the Centennial and Western, or is it? I'm just trying to think, is it Humber and Western? I can't remember now, but but it's telling me, in fact, that I can't apply through ontariocolleges.ca. I have to apply through the OUAC. Okay, and that makes sense to me. Sometimes though collaborative degree programs you can apply through the Ontario colleges. It's just a matter of which program you're considering. So then at some point they will ask you, after you've made all your program choices, after that they will ask you about your order of preference. So you can order your choices, and really essentially what's the first one you want? What's preferably the first one you want? I would say if it's a highly competitive program, it should be up there at the top. Okay, and then we're moving along. We move along to order transcripts. Now remember that you do not need to order your transcripts. Okay, this is a little bit confusing. You have to understand that there are people that are using this application site that are no longer in high school as well. Okay, so it's a general application site, right? For lots of people coming from lots of different directions. So you do not need to order transcripts. Your education will be electronically sent. Your historical grades will be electronically sent. All right. So all you really do have to do is review your application, right, and ensure accuracy. And then it's going to say to you that your application is in progress. Okay, and what that means is you haven't paid yet. So that is the last step that you need to take, okay, in order to have your application processed. Notice that you can always sign out using the little welcome icon here and the drop down, and you can click sign out as often as needed. And payments can be made by a credit card, or I believe as well by a debit as well. Okay, so you can also look for messages and offers that have been sent to you through the home icon on the left side toolbar of your dashboard. So you'll see, like, if there are any messages that they will be generated, right? Like you'll see like a little 1 or 2 or 3, and it'll pop up on the home icon. That is where you'll actually also go in to see your offers and accept your offers as well. That is pretty much the end of that is all. That is it. It is that easy. But I think I've said it already, but I'll say it again. We're here to help, and every question, is valid. And if you have questions, don't hesitate. Come and see your guidance counselor as needed. You can reach out to us via EDSB as well. If you need your status sheet, if you haven't yet come into guidance to pick that up, then that is something that you can absolutely come and do, or you can ask us via Edsby to send you your status sheet electronically. We can do that as well. The step-by-step instructions are available to you, along with obviously this slideshow. It's very important that if you have a question, you don't hesitate. You don't have to second guess things. You can reach out to admissions directly, or you can come and see us and we can help better direct you. Right. So thank you for your time. Thank you for spending the time with me here. And I hope that this was valuable to you. And we wish you the best of luck in this amazing journey, very exciting journey toward your next step in education. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye for now.